Everyone needs therapy.
Everyone does need therapy.
This is Renee.
And this is Irina.
And you're listening to Honey, I'm Healing. Hello.
Good morning.
It is a good morning.
It is a Bella Swan morning.
Ha 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 ha.
We're off key there.
Yeah, and not in sync. It's fine.
Are you tired?
Oh my goodness. I have gotten maybe like 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night again. I'm back on this kick again. So
how are you existing right
you know
now?
what I think it is? I think it's just increased levels of cortisol, and
From what?
well, because I'm not taking care of myself this week. And but I'm noticing those cycles and patterns more. So I'm not putting myself even in the ring of consideration, and I was just stuck in doing things, and yeah, I was kind of getting a little bit resentful. So but I think it's just cortisol.
Okay. Is it a busy work week?
No, it was my brother-in-law is out of town, and my sister has sick kiddos, and so she called me the other day and was like, "Can you bring me milk?"
Bless you, girl, for helping take care of family when they are sick. It is a blessing.
Yes, and you know what? They would do it for me in a heartbeat, and family is all about taking care of one another, but man, I was like, I just need some time for me. But yeah. I digress. How was your week?
Very busy, very busy. I have been helping a family find a home all week, and today we have a full day of showings, and I haven't been able to do that in like 2 months.
I was gonna say, it's been a long time.
It's fun.
Yeah. Also, you're insane for being, 7 months pregnant?
And it's honestly nice to get away and drive and listen to my book and help someone buy a home. Like, I'm so excited to close a deal too. Like, if I get to close a couple deals a year, I'm great. I don't need to hustle that hard. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I will feel good about myself regardless. So yeah, that's what, so that's what's been going on this week, but I'm really excited. I just looked over all our notes to finish off, or even we'll see how far we get into part 1 of the new rules, and it's like a refresher again for me.
Yeah, I haven't looked over my notes since yesterday was a really busy day for me, so we're just gonna roll with it, you know. I think it's helpful that you and I are margarita aficionados, or in the very least we listen to a lot of her stuff, and it kind of all circles back to her videos. I think she hits a lot of central themes and, topics and everything. But I did want to talk about a TikTok that I saw today, and I think not today, but I saw this week, and I think it's a really good starter off for. I need to listen to it really quick though.
Go for it.
I genuinely think there is nothing more harmful to self-worth than promising yourself you will do things and not getting them done. Like, whether that happens on a small level or whether that happens again and again and again, that is so damaging to your self-worth. Because if you think about it, like, if someone else did that to you, you'd think they were a pretty shit friend. And so it makes complete sense that when you say to yourself over and over and over again, I'm going to get X done, and every single time you don't show up for yourself, that is really going to compound negatively for your self-worth, because what you're essentially telling yourself is you do not respect yourself enough to actually show up and do the thing that you were meant to do. Proving to yourself that you are a good person, or you are a disciplined person, or you are a hard worker is half of the battle.
I liked how she said, there's nothing more harmful to self-worth than promising yourself you will do things and not getting them done.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt that this week for myself. And
if you can't show up for yourself, what, like, you should love yourself more than anything if you can't show up for yourself. Who are you?
That's what who am I? No. I so needed that this week, and I just really meditated on that this week, because with the feelings of showing up for other people, I completely disregarded myself, and I got stuck in that old pattern that I had sworn that I got over, and that was really hard for me. But it was also a really sobering moment of, this is an opportunity for me to grow and for me to exercise self-love and get back into those rhythms. And like, I haven't worked out in a really long time, probably since January 6th. I took a video of it on my phone, and I was looking at it yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's 12 days ago.
But before that, what was it? Longer?
No, it was pretty regular before that.
Okay.
But like,
I didn't know you were regularly working out.
yeah. But like, I've gained 10 pounds in a month.
Okay, Christmas doesn't count. December is a write-off.
I know, but I don't like the feeling of it. And I don't think it's all, like, I think the cortisol element of it does play into that. I don't necessarily think that that's all weight. I think it's like a physiobiological response. But that could just be me telling myself that to make myself feel better. I don't know.
But it also sounds very true. But like, you're more aware of it now than you were even the last time you recognized that you're showing up for others more than yourself. So
yeah,
that's progress.
Yeah, I think
it's
back
really
to
good.
like Hope Unlimited days. That was peak people pleaser. So progress.
Really? I think back to my divorce days. This has been me looking over my notes. I'm like, I really needed that back then. Why didn't I follow?
What's the biggest one on that list that hit you? Just off the bat, just don't even go in parts.
Boundaries.
Okay. Explain.
Well, we're going to talk about it moving forward in the role, but who was that creator, by the way? Just so we can give her credit.
If TikTok's still around by the time
I've had dreams about it, which is so sad. But it's 7 million people who make income from an app. And honestly, government doesn't care about you.
Well, they never did. That's not new news.
That frustrates me.
The TikTok creator is Grace Beverly, and she is beautiful.
Is she British?
She is. So she's everything I want to be and more.
She's beautiful. Yeah. Well, okay. So I think her video like ties in so much into this next rule number 3. Being her is non-negotiable. If you're not showing up for yourself, what are you doing? When you neglect yourself, this is what Margarita says, when you neglect yourself, you make yourself a shadow in everyone else's life. People want to see you thrive.
Yeah.
She talks a lot about like getting in tune with your desires, with how you feel, articulating them, and making yourself be worthy of being heard, known. Like, you matter. These are things I tell to my daughter all the time. And I'm like, how often do I tell them to myself?
Yeah. Right? But it kind of going off of the video that I had just shared, if you can't say them to yourself, how can you trust the authority that you're saying it to your daughter? Like, where is that coming from?
I know it's in there. But you're right. Yeah.
At that point, it's just words. Like, if you can't walk the walk, you can't talk the talk, girlfriend. You gotta embrace that.
And that it refers back to the rule number 1, where she talks about self-love. Like, your kids are watching you. They don't want to watch your struggle. They want to watch your success. They will see you thrive in that, and they will also replicate that in their life too. And just people around you in general, like, you give off an energy or a presence about yourself. And I want to be a magnetic person. I want to be someone who people like love to be around, who people feel uplifted around and happy
For sure. Me too. Who wants to be the person that sucks the energy out of the room? Not me.
Yeah.
I love that she says this. She says, the more unfamiliar and uncomfortable the act of prioritizing yourself feels, the more crucial it becomes to do just that.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it this week and I was like, because at first I didn't recognize I'm not putting myself first. What that showed up as for me was I'm really resentful and really agitated. Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to peel back the layers and was like, you know what? I haven't had a day for myself in probably since January 1st, not even then. But like, I haven't had a day where I can go antiquing or thrifting or just sit on the couch and do nothing, you know? And I am working on something for you, and it's
Why are we the same person?
I really want to show it to you, but I also want it to be a surprise, but like I literally can't. Like I really want to show you.
I've literally, right while I was waiting for you to get on, yours is sitting right there because I've been working on it. I'm like this close to being done. Actually got done yesterday and then I undid it because I was like, no, it needs to be more perfect. I was like, this morning, I want to show it to her so bad. What if I just show her a corner? That is so funny.
Do I show it to you or do I
No.
not? Okay.
No,
Okay.
because you'll be here in 2 weeks. And yeah, no, it needs to be
Okay. You're right.
in-person reveal. It deserves its moment.
It does.
Both of them too. I'm so excited.
It does.
That is so funny because I was literally thinking the same thing too. Okay, side traffic there.
I needed to put the accountability back on myself of this is uncomfortable because I'm not prioritizing myself, not because other people are being
Yeah,
a
for
certain
sure.
way. Like other people are always going to try to vie for your attention and compete for your attention, but you decide whether or not you allocate that to them or not.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
Yeah.
One, being able to point the finger at yourself every. He's awake. Being able to point the finger at yourself every time first and recognize, okay, like I'm noticing symptoms in my behavior that are not reflective of who I believe I am as a person.
It's okay. It's part of it.
And first being able to like recognize, okay, what's going on that's allowing me to engage like this? Is it true expressed frustration of someone else's like inappropriate behavior, or is this me being in lack? And sometimes it's someone else's behavior. Sometimes it's yourself. Most of the time it's probably ourselves.
Yeah. It's just a hard pill to swallow when you're feeling like super resentful and then you're like, oh wait, I'm the problem.
Yeah, but like how amazing of a person can you be to be able to do that though? A lot of people lack accountability, lack responsibility for their behavior and for their feelings and blame everything on everyone else and project everything on everyone else. And that's why they continue to live in that pattern and cycle of seeing their life the same way. And there's no growth.
Such a good reminder. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that, because old versions of myself or other listeners that are able to pinpoint that in themselves, like that's just a marker of growth. And
Yeah.
you're doing the work, you're showing up, and that's important.
Exactly. I made cookies this morning, and the pregnant belly is feeling them now.
Who are you? Betty
What?
Crocker over there.
Well, they're from Trader Joe's.
You kind of give like Giada vibes.
I don't know what Giada is.
Giada De Laurentiis? She's fabulous.
Is she like in Nancy Meyers style movies?
Kind of, but she's
Okay.
like more modern.
I don't know my actors and actresses.
I'll send you a picture later. You'll be like,
Okay.
I hope you think it's a compliment.
Okay.
I want to read one more from this rule that I really resonated with. Okay.
Yeah.
The harsh reality is if you continuously pour into others without replenishing yourself, you'll wear down to a shadow of your former self, much like the worn out sole of an old shoe. When you're left with no energy to give, you'll find that your children, your spouse, and those close to you might even start to distance themselves. It's a stark reminder of the importance of nurturing yourself first. Without that self-care, the very connections we hope to strengthen and maintain can suffer. That's the harsh reality. When you are not thriving in your feminine energy center, or who's given enough to herself to fulfill others in order to overflow with energy, if you sacrificed yourself and you've given to others to the detriment of yourself, you've built up bitterness and resentment and unhappiness. And then she goes on to say, the reality is that nobody is going to be there for you. Yeah. And that last part, I remember saying that to people when I was going through the throes of the healing journey during my divorce. And I would say the biggest takeaway that I've gotten out of this is that nobody's going to help me or save me. I have to do that for myself. Mm-hmm. And everyone would be like, that's really morbid and like dark. And I'm like, no, it's very empowering when you think about it. Mm-hmm. In this case, I did get myself into it, but I get to dig myself out of it. Yeah. And in that, I find I get to have my Joan of Arc moment and like realize the warrior that I am. And mm-hmm. because of that, I feel like I'm a better version of myself. And I get to show up as the best version of myself every day because of that.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. That's so true. I mean, I notice when I'm depleted and resentful, it's probably because I'm burnt out or mm-hmm. running on low. Sometimes you have to, though. Like in our economy, in our worlds, families working, like sometimes our spouses, they do too. Well, my spouse.
Hey, you're working too. Miss 4 showings in a little bit.
No. I was meaning, because I said our spouses, but you're not married. But like, I was meaning in general, like.
Yeah, collective. Yeah.
So it's like, heck, sometimes, when they're going through their own thing, but that's also part of being like a very aware and selfless and loving partner, is being for them when you see someone else struggling. It's that reminder, hey, it's not like, why are you treating me this way? How dare you? You're struggling so hard that now it's like you're taking it out on me. It's like, hey, go take care of yourself. I got this. Yeah. It's so nice to have people in our life that can do that for us. And I hope you had someone like that this week for you.
Oh, I did.
Okay, good. That was my question. Getting my 411 there.
He continuously proves to me that more and more he's the reason why I never could settle or should have settled, or things didn't work out. And even regardless of how things end up, like, I'm able to just sit back and say, God, I'm so grateful that I get to know him and have him in my life. And he is just far beyond anything that I could ever want in somebody. And the way he loves me challenges me to love me more. Mm-hmm. And that's so good. But I'm so excited. 2 weeks, you get to meet him.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. That's amazing. That's good.
My Danish man. I put a little Denmark flag next to his name in my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think mine has fire. Literally Australian fire for me. Oh, that's funny.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
Okay, next rule, our favorite. So we have like 10 minutes.
We crush this out.
Okay. Our favorite rule. This is so good. This is my favorite. Rule number 4, detachment is key.
Yes, ma'am. Margarita said that best.
We need to remember, we say this all the time. You are your own person. You are complete on your own. What is not for you will pass you by. And it is okay. Specifically in relationships, ladies, when you are dating, do not strive to make that work. Man, if I could go back, the things I wish people told me, the things I wish I knew, the growth I wish I had at that time. But obviously, you don't get there right away. You learn all of this after. You learn, what is it about me that's making me attracted to someone who wants nothing to do with me? What is it about me that's making me strive to be in an environment or situation where I'm constantly being put down? Like, that's the growth that happens after. But in the moment, you just need someone to tell you, like, if someone is not for you, it's okay. And like, what is for you will happen on its own. And there will be no striving. There will be no having to prove yourself. There will be no anxious attachment coming out.
I could talk about this as an entire episode, and I won't, because we've talked about it so much, but it's probably the biggest thing that I learned to embrace last year in 2024. And I credit that a lot to you, and I credit that a lot to Margarita and to the literature that's out there about it, because it allows you to literally detach from the situation and to put my worth back into myself. And she says, the bottom line is this: if you put your energy into another person and not into yourself, you will become obsessed with them. Where attention goes, energy flows. Take back your energy.
It's boundaries, really. Like, detachment is the woo-woo word, but really it's boundaries.
Yep.
What are you allowing?
And it's detaching from the outcome, and it's, for me, what that is really just eliminating expectation. And that's hard, because I have the wildest imagination, and this thing's always going 24/7, you know? And so it's developing an expectation when really I should be putting the expectation on me, because I have control over my outcome more than anything. I don't have control over someone else's outcome. I have control over mine, though, at least more control. So it's just been really empowering.
And to add on to that, and she says this all the time, and I've heard other people say it too, when you are finding yourself like feeling in lack, feeling like you're trying to make something work, feeling like you really are having an expectation of something to be a certain way, more than likely all your energy has been put into that person or that situation, and you need to give it back to yourself. You're depleted. You have no boundaries. I'm going to read this is where I quoted her for this rule. Secure people do not point out the inadequacies in others. Instead, they say exactly what they want. For example, I want to give a solid example here that she used. Instead of, why didn't you call me last night? They say, I love it when you call me, and you should call me more often. They're not looking to build the case that affirms their anxious attachment. They're not looking to twist or change the person into becoming what they need. If that person simply will not honor what is important to you and call you, then that person is not for you. It's either you speak your desire, hey, I love it when we call each other at least once a week and talk on the phone. If that is not met, then they're not for you. And you don't need to change anyone or make someone become something for you. Simply put, if it's for you, it will happen. Like, it will just happen.
Yeah.
And then, this is kind of separate, but I love this. Secure people don't care when others are wrong about you. They understand that not everyone can see exactly who you are, and they're okay with that. They don't have to prove themselves. They are confident in who they are. They understand that people see life through the lens of their own perspectives and experiences. And I say that all the time. Like, most of the time, people are watching you through the experiences of their own trauma, of their own childhood, of their own hurts and pains. And if they are loving you, it's because they're seeing you through their most fulfilled self, through their most loving selves.
Well, yeah, a lot of people just project whatever insecurity that they're feeling when they meet you onto you, and that's why they don't like you. But I was thinking about this when we were talking about a return to love, and just it's been something that I've been circling mentally, and it's every person that you meet is a holy encounter. So whether, like, I just think about if I don't like somebody, it's an opportunity for me to examine why and fix myself and to embrace love for that person. But ultimately, like, it's on me because I don't know them probably well enough to really even make a sound judgment on them.
Yeah. And we're not going to, like, manipulate a situation to make it become what we need for us, for what we're needing in that moment.
Ew.
Yeah, we're going to just be what we need. We're going to take that energy back and put it into ourselves.
Yeah.
Detachment, boundaries.
All of the things.
I think that's like the biggest lesson she always teaches. I really wish I had her 7 years ago. Granted, you know, we learn all this after, especially after hitting really low points in life and recognizing, like, why am I even here? How did I even get here? But if you're in a good place in life, this is really good prevention, crisis management strategies here.
I offer to you, though, I don't think you would have listened with the same intention 7 years ago that you would have now. So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, the timing's always going to be right. It's going to meet you at the specific time that it's supposed to.
Of course.
If it's meant for you, it won't pass you by. It'll come at the right time. And if you miss it, it'll come back because it is truly meant for you. So it's...
It was really like church that taught me, though. You know, ironically,
we're going there.
I've deconstructed a lot, but like getting back into church and hearing from certain people, like helping me understand my worth. Like shortly after that, that was like, okay, like I'm so worthy because Jesus just says I am. That's it. That then helps you recognize, like, what you're worthy of, boundaries, and then that's when detachment, I feel like, can really happen. Yeah. But I will be learning detachment for the rest of my life.
Oh, it's something we're going to continue like perfect and refine and grow in. But yeah, it's the best kind of model, if you will. Well,
being go on.
You go ahead. You finish up.
I was just saying, I think, like, key with detachment is being surrounded by people who practice it, being surrounded by people who invest in themselves, who love themselves, who practice boundaries so well, not just in their words, but in their actions with you too. You know, like people who say no. I love people who say no. I've always said no. I love it.
Should have said no. Should have twice before you let it all go. Sorry.
But it's hard to say no when you're living out of anxious attachment. So
it is. But it goes back to who you surround yourself with matters, because you will grow into a version of them. They will start to stick to you. So be really careful and intentional about who you're surrounding yourself with.
And that they're not just like agreeing or affirming everything you're believing.
Right, because that's not love or friendship. A true friend is someone who's willing to have a hard conversation with you and butt heads with you about something because they think it's for your benefit. That's true love and friendship and looking out for somebody. So
I don't really love, like, talking about divorce or, like, my divorce, not because, like, it's just such an old part of me that, like, I don't want to give more credit to a hurt that happened when there has been so much good that came after that. But I want to give credit to the girl I was, no matter who was in my life at the time. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, like
But,
you don't
like-
want to worship the pain, but you want to honor the altar that it built.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the pain's long gone. It's been forever ago.
Yeah.
And I don't like, I'm sure people can relate to this, like talking about an old breakup or whatever. Like, I don't care about that. But man, when I look back to the girl who is that girl, even before getting married, to the girl who was 14, to the girl who was 12, like, that's what I remember. And I just wanted to say that to you.
I love
Because I feel like you can probably relate.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've, and because it is still kind of fresh, have worshipped
Well,
the
you're
pain.
less than a year. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I'm like 6 months, so
exactly.
grace, not perfection. But
Yeah.
anyway, Mama, you gotta go.
Yes,
so
I do. This was so fun.
This was so great.
Looks like we're going to have a lot of more upcoming episodes on Margarita Nazarenko because we clearly just can't get through it quick enough because it's just too good.
I know, but I like that we're taking our time with it because she's worthy of the time, and so are we.
Yes, you are, girl.
Okay, love you. See you next
Okay.
week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.